Yo, check it. Hey, yo, what is up? You are back for another video of DataZero. In this video, we're looking at AMC GME SPY, Bitcoin, the overall stock and crypto market. This is your weekly outlook and prediction where we go over stocks on the weekly basis, also give you weekly candle prints and give you an idea of what I'm expecting for this week and also the data drops and everything in between. This video is everything you need to know as a trader and investor for stocks and crypto. We're going to get you prepared for this trading week so you guys can absolutely make a bag and take advantage of every opportunity that the market is about to provide. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is the beginning of the end. We're going to get into all of that and more in this video. We're going to be looking at the liquidity of meme stocks, talking about the meme stocks, what's going on with AMC and GME, and much, much more. So you don't want to miss a second of this video. With that being said, let's not waste any more of your precious time and hop in the charts, the facts, the data. Let's go. All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video of DataZero. In this video, we're looking at AMC, GME, and SPY. This is your weekly outlook and prediction. We're also going to look at the cryptocurrency market as well. Basically, the time of the week where I give you a weekly outlook of what to expect for the market. Last week, we talked about a red week for SPY, and that is exactly what we did see. So you do want to get all of the context out of these videos and make sure that you understand exactly what is going on. I'm going to give you guys the information that you need to know as a trader and investor. This is for the trading week of the 15th until the 19th. So we're going to be looking at Monday the 15th till Friday the 19th. We did talk about SPY possibly topping out at that 525 level, and this is exactly what we're seeing. So we're going to get into all of this and more in this video. We're also going to be talking about Bitcoin again. Do not miss a second of it. This is your weekly outlook and prediction. So let's go ahead and hop into the cryptocurrency market, show you guys exactly what's going on for BTC, what I'm expecting. And BTC, guys, we could potentially having a problem for Bitcoin. Bitcoin broke beneath this support right here. This was acting as support, giving us a bounce to the upside. But now look what's happening. It's acting as resistance. This is a problem for Bitcoin. Bitcoin could be seeing a move to the downside before an overall move to the upside. Basically, what I'm looking at for Bitcoin, especially if we break down out of this pennant and cannot get back above it, is a move down towards that 60K, 65K level around that range before moving to the upside. So we could be seeing a pullback, especially with the catalyst of the halving. Buy the rumor, sell the news. You could be seeing a little bit of pullback before a run up. So I am looking at Bitcoin very, very carefully because what I'm seeing is possibly disturbing. We want to be very, very careful as Bitcoin holders because Bitcoin is very, very volatile and could pull back rapidly. It might even go into a sub bear market before making a higher high. We've seen this before back in the past for BTC, where BTC has pulled back and then made a higher high. As you guys can see here, Bitcoin had absolutely slumped to the downside and then made a higher high after. It wasn't much higher, but there is context in history where this has happened. Now, we did call out this move for the falling wedge, and we have reached the price targets right now. I was expecting an 80K price target, but what I'm seeing right here, that price target could be changing. So we want to be very, very careful on Bitcoin as we are seeing MACD on the weekly time frame momentum start to shift down. If this goes all the way down or goes into the red, that could be a big problem for BTC. So we want to be watching here on the weekly time frame to make sure things are going. Now we are still in an overall uptrend. We are still in an overall bull run, so it's nothing to get super scared of, but we want to pay attention as traders and investors. As you guys can see, the alligator is still spread very far apart, showing us that we have momentum to the upside and we can continue to the upside. But on the smaller time frames, there's a different story starting to form, and we are seeing consolidation, and we might be seeing a pullback before a movement to the upside. So I want everyone to be aware of that. Now, basically what we're seeing here with the BlackRock ETFs is that we could potentially be seeing a move to the upside. BlackRock ETFs and the ETFs, the Bitcoin ETFs, really starting to push things to the upside for Bitcoin. As you guys can see, we were watching this every time the market opens, Bitcoin starts to fly. So these are things that we need to pay attention to for Bitcoin. BlackRock ETF still inside of the pennant, as you guys can see, so we could be seeing a move to the upside, and we want to be tracking this very, very carefully. We will be seeing on Monday or Tuesday if we get back inside of the pennant. If we can do it over the weekend, great, but it will probably be Monday or Tuesday. Now, if we break down, you will see Bitcoin coming down to a level of 65, possibly even 60K, so I want everyone to follow this channel to be aware. I wouldn't really be concerned unless Bitcoin broke underneath 50,000. If we broke underneath 50,000, that would be when we could be seeing an overall downtrend, and possibly this would be the top of the overall bull market until we make another rally and or correct and then make a rally. So this is what I'm looking at for BTC and the overall cryptocurrency market. Another thing that we haven't seen is altcoins absolutely take off. Bitcoin dominance still way too high, guys. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 51%. You really need Bitcoin dominance at least under 50% minimum. You really want it at like 45, 49 to see altcoins really start to take off. So right now, Bitcoin dominance is just way too high to really see things absolutely take off. So this is what we're looking at for the overall cryptocurrency market. I do think we could be potentially seeing a pullback before a move to the upside, and I want everyone to be aware of that. Now, I am still extremely bullish on Bitcoin on the long term, but it looks like the short term we could be seeing a little bit of sideways action and or pullback before that move into the upside that we're all looking for. Ethereum as well, also seeing a pullback. As you guys can see, we had this momentum building. We were in this bullish pennant. We popped to the upside out of it, but just couldn't get the momentum we needed to continue, and we started to pull back. So again, Bitcoin is leading the way. This is why we mostly follow Bitcoin until Bitcoin dominance goes down. It is going to lead the way. When Bitcoin goes up, altcoins are going to go up. When Bitcoin goes down, altcoins are going to go down. Now, people often ask me what some of my favorite altcoin picks are. I like coins like Matic. I like coins like Shiba Inu. I like coins like Sol, XRP, XLM, but most of my portfolio is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Again, I'm very, very basic when it comes to the cryptocurrency as far as what coins I pick. I don't go underneath the top 100 altcoins because the risk is just too much for me. A lot of people like going into these crazy meme coins. Again, you can make some money. You can see that Bonk is up 1,880%. But guys, these are extremely risky, and if you are in these, I would not be holding those. I'd be going in and out. So this is what I'm looking at for the overall cryptocurrency. If you guys have any projects you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments down below, and I will try to mention those projects. I also live stream. You can ask on the live stream, and I will try to look at them as well. I live stream from 9:15, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to about 4 p.m. Market open to market close. We cover stocks and crypto and give you guys predictions and news as they do become available. So if you're interested in that, check me out during the live stream. Now, this is what we're looking at for the overall cryptocurrency market. Let's move into the stock land and show you guys what's going on with stocks. If you don't know what's happening with stocks, we did see a pullback with this week's inflation data. So inflation is looking bad. We're having low GDP growth. We literally have stagflation. The market is starting to come back down to reality as the economy is just not as good as the narrative wants you to believe. The Fed wants you to believe that everything's fine. The current administration wants you to believe that everything's fine. But this is simply not the case. We have literal high inflation with low GDP growth. People are struggling even if they don't want to admit it. Most Americans don't even have $500 in their savings account, ladies and gentlemen. The average American doesn't even have $500 in a savings account, and most of them are also using credit cards and highly in debt. So again, people's facades may be looking like, oh, I have a lot of stuff, this. They might be heavily in debt and have no savings. Again, American quality of life going down, and we want to see these things start to continue back to the upside because people are definitely struggling with the current economy, even though they're trying to tell you guys that everything is fine. You guys can see the data showing us that inflation is not going away. I'm the one who said a second wave of inflation is possibly going to come in, and we might even have more rate hikes, which would be absolutely devastating for the market. Now, as far as what we have for this week's data sets dropping, all we have is retail sales month over month, which is huge, but it's not as big as inflation, FOMC, and the stuff we had last week. Again, I told you guys last week was going to be wild, and that is exactly what we did see. We also have building permits as well. This is going to be for the trading week of the 15th to the 19th, so that is what we're looking at. So the only thing we do have is retail sales and building permits month over month. Let's go ahead and show you guys what's going on with SPY and give you guys a little update on SPY, what's happening with SPY, and what we could expect to see here based off the stock market, key stocks, and we're also going to be looking into the meme stocks as well. Now, we did predict a red week in last week's weekly outlook and prediction. We predicted a red week, and that is what we did see. A red week on SPY. You guys can see that MACD is starting to curl down. You guys can see that the RSI is going underneath that overbought level. RSI was extremely high. Normally when you have RSI this high on the weekly time frame, it leads into a bigger correction. And guys, I do think a bigger correction is coming, and we're going to talk about that in this video. Now, if you missed my last couple of videos, we did call that 525 top. As you guys can see right here is the receipts. A lot of people like the receipts. Sorry if you've already seen this clip before. Which would indeed be a bear flag leading to another move to the downside and doing what I said, leading into an overall downtrend from this 525 level. I think this is going to be the top, at least for the local top, for at least a week or two. It does look like we will try to, and as you guys can see, that has come to fruition, that 525 top level not able to be beat, and we did go into an overall downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. This is why you want to follow this channel, press subscribe, because it's an absolute gem when it comes to technical analysis and predictions. As you guys can see, we made that overall downtrend to the downside. MACD on the 4-hour time frame, red. MACD on the daily time frame, red. RSI starting to curl down. That bearish divergence starting to play out. As you guys can see, price was continually drifting up while RSI was drifting down. I give you guys the example with Bitcoin, exactly what is going to be happening, and this is exactly what we're starting to see. I told you guys that Bitcoin had the same thing on the weekly time frame. Price trending up, RSI trending down. Well, what starts to happen? It starts to roll over and leads into a steeper correction. That is exactly what SPY is doing, guys. SPY is starting to roll over, and this is going to lead into a steeper correction. You guys can see here on the daily time frame, if you look at the alligator, momentum completely shifting to the downside. That green line crossing underneath that red line is a huge sign here on the daily time frame, telling us momentum is shifting. Also seeing the green line here on the 4-hour time frame completely underneath both lines is letting us know momentum is definitely to the downside. My personal opinion is that this downtrend will continue, and possibly, I don't think it's going to be this week, because I don't see a catalyst unless some type of black swan or the conflicts that's happening around the world. If you don't know what's happening, I'm not big on explaining geopolitics on this channel, but I do follow them because they do affect the market. Guys, we're having a lot of different conflicts happening, and I don't want to scare anybody, but possible WW3 type stuff is happening. Whether you want to believe it or not, it is happening, okay? We're having major conflicts, and it's becoming literally a group of countries versus another group of countries. If you're not paying attention, you need to be paying attention to what's happening. Things could get serious. I'm not a doom and gloom channel, but I want everyone to be prepared so you can not only profit off of it, but you can be ready and make the best out of any situation. And what we're seeing is definitely disturbing. Now, there could be some type of black swan event. I don't see much for catalysts as far as data drops or anything like that. Next week I do, because we do have GDP next week, and if we see GDP not growing higher while inflation's going higher, that proves literal stagflation. We have GDP next week. I don't see a catalyst this week, but this could be the start of the correction that a lot of people on this channel are looking for, me, myself included, okay? Now, I'm not telling you to pile into the shorts or anything like that, but we are confirmed an overall downtrend, okay? So basically, if you would have shorted that 525 top all the way down, you could have made money. Now, it has been very volatile, but it definitely could be done with the right set of options and or strategy. So, guys, it might start to roll over in a big way. Basically, what's happening now, as you guys can see, the market is topping out. That 525 top that I called is in play. It looks like SPY is going to start moving to the downside. Now, if we break the key level of 508, if we break 508, you'll probably see SPY move down in a big way. Why do I say that? Because 508 is around the region where we got this massive push up, and that is the level that we're holding above to try to hold that level of support. So if we break below it, we have gap fills to the downside. We have a lot of space. You'll probably see a big move down. So 508 is a level that I would be looking for as a possible trigger to see that move down. What it looks like SPY is going to attempt to do is bounce. So what I'm expecting in the first half of the week is probably green. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're probably going to see green. And why do I say that? Look down here on the smaller time frames of what's happening on SPY. Bullish divergence, okay? Price continually drifting down while RSI is starting to drift up. You can see it's making higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then it starts even making higher highs and an overall uptrend. As you can see, RSI charting the trend up, price trending down. It looks like what SPY is going to try to do is get a bounce. We also have a gap fill to the upside, which potentially will try to get filled. I don't think we're going to be able to get all the way to 518 in my personal opinion. We might be able to by Wednesday, but this is definitely not going to be happening on Monday in my personal opinion. We are going to get a decent bounce for SPY as RSI is in those oversold territories. If you go ahead and look what's happening on RSI and these higher time frames, we're getting into those oversold territories, getting pretty oversold. So I think SPY is going to try to get a bounce to the upside, moving to the upside, but this bullish divergence will play out. I think SPY is going to get a bounce. It's probably going to set a bull trap like it did this week and then start to move its way up towards 515, but that's probably where you're going to see a rejection in my personal opinion. Now the algo might try to hunt for that gap at 518. Again, this could happen probably by Wednesday. I'm expecting bullishness in the first half of the week and then bearishness in the later half of the week. I'm more expecting a lot more craziness next week as far as a potential crash, but definitely this could be the start. I named a few titles of the stream. Is this the beginning of the end? And literally this could be the beginning of the end of this rally for SPY, because we're starting to see an overall downtrend, and again, that's going to lead into a steeper correction. Why do I think a correction though? Well, look at the weekly RSI. Again, anytime RSI gets this high, if you look at RSI this high here, you pull back. RSI this high here, you pull back. If you go ahead and look at any time the market has went straight up after a correction, we went straight up here, we went straight down. We went straight up here, we went straight down. Well, we went straight up again. What do you think is going to be happening? Straight down. Also, we have clues like the bearish divergence. Bearish divergence is going to lead into a bigger correction, not just a regular correction. RSI trending down while price trending up. Again, this bearish divergence is starting to play out as daily MACD is red, but we haven't seen that overall correction. Also, multiple gap fills to the downside. This market has literally been built on air. I, believe it or not, have a price target of at least 419 on SPY. So I think SPY is going to be coming down in a big way, in my personal opinion. Also, we've seen a bubble in the market. This has not been a natural bull run. This is why I told people this is not a bull run. A lot of people thought this is a new bull run. This would last forever. We're going to go to the moon. That is simply not the case. The stocks that have been leading the market are Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia. That AI narrative has been really driving things. And if you look, they haven't been talking about the AI narrative as much. They haven't been talking about these things as much. It's because people are taking profits and they realize the party is over. Also, if you look at what smart money is doing, they're starting to hedge. And if you look at what's been happening with the VIX absolutely exploding, breaking out of a massive channel that it's been in for quite some time. We've been in this channel for quite some time. You guys can see last time we had that pop, the market did pull back. And as you guys can see, we had another pop. When the VIX goes up, the market goes down, and the VIX went up in a big way, ladies and gentlemen. So this is something you need to pay attention to. When the VIX goes up, the market goes down. Also, when the dollar goes up, the market goes down. The dollar is up in a big way. When the dollar goes up, it affects risk assets. All of these things are indicating that the party is over and we're going to be seeing downside for SPY. So in my personal opinion, I think we're going to be moving down. Also, you guys can see key stocks like Nvidia making lower highs. It's starting to roll over. I told you guys Nvidia would also be seeing a reckoning. Nvidia with multiple gap fills to the downside. Apple as well, even though Apple's doing well, broke out of this falling wedge. Apple has multiple gap fills to the downside, possible double top forming as well. all indications that we're going to be seeing much lower lows. These are the key stocks really holding up the market. They call them the Magnificent Seven, blue chip stocks, whatever you want to call it. These are the stocks really holding up the market, and they're starting to roll over. Guys, I think we are literally seeing the beginning of the end, the beginning of the downtrend, the beginning of the overall bear trend that I've been talking about will be coming. Now, will it start this week? I'm more looking at next week, but guys, I'm thinking we're going to see some action this week, and there's definitely going to be opportunities, so make sure you tune into the live stream. Overall, though, what I'm looking at for SPY is bearishness. So I do think we are going to see another red week for SPY. I do think we're going to see another red week for SPY as SPY continues to roll over and move to the downside. Also, something you want to be aware of if you are a SPY bull is that we haven't had 2 red weeks in a row for quite some time. This was the last time we had 2 red weeks in a row. This was way back in 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since then, we've only had 1 red week, and then we continued up. We officially had 2 red weeks in a row. This is showing you momentum has changed, has shifted. I believe we will see another red week in my personal opinion. I think we're going to bounce to the upside in the beginning half of the week, and then in the later half of the week continue to the downside. I think we will start to move up towards that 515, maybe even that 518 gap fill, but we will top out shortly after those levels, in my personal opinion, continuing to the downside, continuing this downtrend, and continuing what I said, making an overall downtrend from that 525 level. So this is what we're looking at for SPY. Again, that 525 level has been the top for at least a week or two, and everything is coming to fruition as we did plan. So this is what we're looking at for SPY and the overall stock market. Again, bearishness, red week for SPY. Now let's go ahead and hop in the meme stocks and show you guys what's going on with the meme stocks and give you guys an update and prediction on what is happening for AMC and GME. AMC and GME have been absolutely getting attacked, okay? You guys already know how I feel about AMC and GME. Once SPY really starts to capitulate, once SPY really starts to roll over, once liquidity dries up, I do believe that these will be in a much better position to see movements to the upside. Again, they use stocks like Apple, like Nvidia, like Microsoft as collateral for AMC short positions. So if these stocks increase in value, okay, that means that they have a ton more value to offer up for short positions for AMC shorts. But what happens when they decrease in value? That means they have to put up more collateral. They have to put up more money, more shares. That will see cost to borrow go up. Also, liquidity drying up creates events for short squeezes. That's why I believe the market actually going down will be a much better situation scenario where we could see a possible squeeze. Now, it's very, very interesting to me that they're attacking these stocks so hard as the market is starting to roll over. I believe it is because they need you out of these positions. They need as many people out of these positions. They need as many people to not be looking at these stocks as possible, because it is so dangerous that if the market starts to roll over, you could be seeing a pop to the upside, especially at these low levels for these stocks. These stocks are extremely cheap right now. They're so easy to buy. And again, that's what you want to do. Buy low, sell high. These stocks are so cheap that they could potentially even cover at these low prices. I don't think they're going to cover because they keep doubling down. If they were smart, they would cover. But I believe they think that we are going to sell, but they must not be watching the channel. We are literally holding zero to MOAS. Now, AMC at $2.61 for the low did get a bounce to the upside. We're going to be talking about AMC here in a second. We have bullish divergence on AMC. A lot of good things going on. Again, with divergences, that means you're going to drift in the general direction. If it's bullish divergence, you're going to drift down before making correction. If it's bearish divergence, you're going to drift up before making a correction. The same way SPY just kept drifting up before it started to roll over because of the bearish divergence on the daily time frame is the same thing we're going to be talking about here on AMC, as AMC is starting to get bullish divergence here on the smaller time frame, as RSI is starting to trend up while price is continually trending down. You can see RSI making higher lows, RSI trending up while price is trending down, bullish for divergence starting to form. Now, what we want to look at for AMC is to see if we can get a bottom off that $2.60 level. I do think we could potentially get a bottom here, but guys, they are shorting these stocks to the ground. I don't know if you guys been watching the numbers lately, but they've been going absolutely crazy. Now, some people are saying Ortex is saying 20%. I believe Ortex is speculative. I believe the numbers are accurate, but I like to go off Fintel in my personal opinion. Right now, Fintel is at 16% short interest right now. So short interest is starting to go back up. I was the one who told everybody that AMC would drop to a brand new low after the reverse split and dilution. I try to explain to everybody. I understand that I have to repeat myself a lot, but I try to explain exactly what's going on with AMC. It would take me a whole video in itself to explain exactly every little detail and go over all of the tidbits of information and put them all into one video. And I might do that maybe here over this week. But basically, anytime AMC starts to get momentum, it gets diluted, okay? A lot of people have different theories and believe different things, but this is, I'm not trying to be arrogant or cocky or anything like that, but this is literally what happens, okay? So AMC runs. And if you remember what happened here, Adam Aaron sold shares into the market and diluted right here. That stopped this rally. AMC started to get momentum again. Adam Aaron created APE. It stopped this rally and helped push it down. What happens when they get liquidity? APE is dilution, okay? APE was dilution. That was dilution. Every time we get dilution, it helps them take control of the stock and push it down. Then we have to wait. What happens? Short interest drops, cost to borrow drops, FTGs drop, and then things cool down for a little bit, and then time goes on. What happens? The shorts double back down. We keep buying. We keep holding because we keep doing the same thing. They keep doing the same thing until one of the sides budge. There's not going to be a winner, okay? We're not budging. They're not budging. That is the key to this. Now, as you guys can see, we start to get momentum again. This is when FTDs come back, RSI comes, or FTDs come back, short interest comes back, cost to borrow comes back. They created APE, helps them push it down. We were about to squeeze again. I had the Moss roadmap. Price starting to rise back up. RSI, or at cost to borrow, at crazy levels. If you guys remember, short interest was sitting at 30%. Cost to borrow was sitting at 1,000%, and FTDs were absolutely out of control for AMC. What happens? They get the reverse split and dilution, allowing them to take control of the stock and push it down to new levels. Now, I told everybody that after the reverse split, AMC would not only drop to a new 52-week low, which it has, but you guys would see this bloody painfulness. I also told you guys that RSI would dry up, which it did. I told you guys cost to borrow would dry up, which it did. And I told you guys FTDs would disappear, which they did. But now we're finally getting to that point where we continue to buy and hold. They're doubling down. And now guess what's happening? Short interest is returning. Cost to borrow is returning. We are seeing these things start to go back up. Now, we're nowhere near the levels we need to be, but we are getting there. You really want to see cost to borrow above at least 10 to 15% to really start having an effect, okay? We want to see cost to borrow get at least above 10 to 15%, but you can see cost to borrow rising in a big way. That's because they keep shorting it and doubling down. We're seeing short interest rise in a big way. That's because they keep doubling down. And if the market really starts to roll over and we have some type of black swan event, or we just start to see utter capitulation, the same way when Volkswagen squeezed in 2008 in October. What happened in October? SPY had one of the bloodiest months in history, okay? That's when SPY was absolutely dumping. That's when you see short squeezes. With these levels that we're seeing, so once we get 20% short interest, which is where you want to see, once you see that cost of borrow go back up and you see the market absolutely start to bleed, you literally could see a short squeeze. I'm not a hype channel. I'm not a Moonboy channel. But this is the setup that we're waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. You must be patient in this play. Who said making life-changing money would be easy? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a clear answer. But I believe I've been following this thing since the beginning, and I believe I have my finger on the pulse. I see what they're doing with the liquidity. I see what they're doing with the games they play, and I feel like this could potentially be an end game. They have kicked the can so far down the road that they have doubled down so much. They are in a nasty position that they simply can't get out. If they were smart, they would cover at these low positions, but instead they are doubling down, which shows desperation. Some people think they're winning, but this shows desperation. Why would you short a stock at 52-week lows unless you have absolutely no idea what you were doing or you were desperate? There's no reason to short a stock that's already at 52-week lows. There's no reason to short a stock that has RSI on the daily time frame at 19, unless you were absolutely desperate to push that stock down as far as possible because you're afraid of what could happen if that price starts to rise or people get interested in that stock again. If AMC starts getting buzz again, if we start to see that price start to go up, if liquidity starts drying up and the market starts pulling back, they are in big, big trouble, especially with the numbers we're starting to see. They have been absolutely nailing AMC and GME with short shares, guys. They've been absolutely nailing AMC and GME short shares. If you guys look, they've just been dumping shares over and over and over again. Right now, at time recording, they have 800,000 shares. That could change, and this is why we could see price go lower than that $2.60 level. Look for a possible price target of $2.50. Now, what I'm seeing on the technicals says that we could potentially get a bounce, but with that bearish divergence, we might drift down to that $2.50 level. Or with the bullish divergence, we might drift down to that $2.50 level. RSI clearly trending up while price clearly trending down. We will correct, we will find a bottom, and we will recover back to the upside, filling these gaps, in my personal opinion. Based off what I'm seeing here, I think we could see one more red week on AMC, so I would be expected for that downside. I'm expecting AMC to potentially come down to that 261 level, retest that on Monday. We really will see where we're at on Monday after we retest these lower levels. I feel like we're going to retest that on Monday and then be able to get a bounce to the upside. Now, if we can hold $2.61, $2.50 is not on the cards. It looks like we're potentially, trying to make a bottom off these lower levels. RSI so oversold, it's ridiculous. But with that bearish divergence, we could be drifting to the downside before making that snap to the upside. I do think we'll be able to fill this gap at $2 and $4 very, very easily. We have multiple gap fills to the upside, but I believe what the AMC holders are really waiting for is the market to roll over and really start to capitulate. Again, I don't have the charts up here in front of me. I've done several videos on it, but if you compare the Volkswagen squeeze, when it squeezed, and show SPY charts, SPY was absolutely capitulating. It was October 2008. You guys can look it up for yourself. That's when the short squeeze was. If you look at what happened on SPY, it was absolutely tanking. I believe we could see something in history very, very similar. And for GameStop as well, I believe the same thing. I think we will be seeing a red week on GameStop as well. I'm thinking GameStop is potentially trying to find a bottom, guys. I think GameStop is potentially trying to find a bottom, but they are also pummeling GameStop as well. GameStop holding up pretty well here at this 1078 level, 1078, but right now we are below resistance, meaning that we'll probably come down to at least $10.50 in my personal opinion. So I would be looking for a $10.50 level here on GME. You guys can see that the MACD is curling down. Same thing for GME though. Bullish divergence starting to form. You guys can see price drifting down, RSI starting to trend up. So I do think a correction will come to the upside, but not before we make a lower low. So both, same thing for AMC and GME. I think a correction to the upside is coming, but not before we make a lower low. So I would look for $10.50 on GME. I would look for $2.50 on AMC. Do not be surprised if those price targets come. You can take advantage of it since you follow this channel. You could either buy the dip or just be prepared, and you can play your position how you need to play it. Again, I'm not a Moon Boy channel. I tell you guys exactly what is going on. If you want the truth, if you want the facts, if you want the real deal, this is the place to be. If you want it's going to go to the moon, it's going to Moss tomorrow, you have to go to another channel because I simply cannot lie to my viewers. I don't think we're going to Moss tomorrow. I don't think we're going to Moss next week, but I think we could see a short squeeze once the conditions are right. And when they are, I'll make sure everyone knows it. And I am actually excited to see these numbers on AMC and GME. If you look, GME short interest also going absolutely crazy. If you look, 24% on GME. I believe we're at a point in time where we could see short interest as high as 30 to 40% on both of these stocks, which would be absolutely insane if we seen a short squeeze with those types of numbers. Now, again, we want cost to borrow to go up for AMC. We want cost to borrow to go up for GME as well. This is what's really telling you what's going on in the background, the cost to borrow. This is showing you liquidity. As a short squeeze play, liquidity is your most important thing. You want not really what price it is right now. The price you can buy low, okay? and sell high. But the price is irrelevant. What's happening in the background, especially if you're here for a short squeeze, is what you want to look for. What's happening with liquidity? How desperate are the shorts? Where are the shorts at? Shorts are going to get desperate when cost of borrow goes higher because it costs more money to get all of those short shares to push the stock down. Shorts are going to get desperate when the FTDs start going crazy and they have to cover those FTDs because they have to buy shares out of the open market, which push the stock price up. Again, back when I had the Moash roadmap, we were absolutely about to explode. The FTDs alone on AMC would have made it squeeze because they had to cover over 50 million FTDs, okay? So we ran 100% in after hours, guys. They would have bought all of those shares to cover the FTDs. It would have caused a crazy – AMC was rallying. They would have bought the shares to cover the FTDs. We would have absolutely took off. But instead, they got the reverse split, and that's why they rushed it through so quick because they had to get that liquidity freed up because AMC was literally – about to snap. Now, every time they do that, I explain to you guys, they get liquidity and they free it up and they gain control and they push it down. But they start to lose control again, and that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for that time for them to lose control. We're also waiting for the pressure of the market crashing to be on them because once the market crashes, there's going to be too much going on. There's going to be too much chaos. There's going to be too much bleeding for them to absolutely be focused on these stocks, and that's when we can make our move. That's when things can happen. So what I'm thinking we're seeing on both of these stocks is literally need to wait. I know that's not what people want to hear. They've been waiting for so long. They've been waiting for 3 years, 4 years, whatever the case may be. Well, life-changing money, you have to wait for it. And once you finally get it, you're going to be able to appreciate it because you waited and worked so hard for it. Guys, this is pretty much everything I have for you. Again, I think GME is going to be seeing a red week as well. I think the overall market is about to be pretty bloody. We could see a little bit of green in the beginning half of the week, but I think that we are about to start to see things get absolutely insane. Again, we've been really on point with Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the meme stocks, every prediction that we do. So you guys want to press like and subscribe to get accurate technical analysis predictions and price targets, so on and so forth. GME also multiple gap fills to the upside, but again, I think we're going to be coming down to that 1050 level. Guys, if you found this video informative, go ahead and drop a like. Press subscribe for more content like this. Remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more DataZero updates, and I appreciate it if you made it to the end of this video. I know it was a longer one, but we covered a ton of things in this video. As always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. All right, y'all, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe for more content like this. Remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more DataZero updates. The Discord is on sale right now, $75 for a lifetime invite. This is a market support group where I give you technical analysis, predictions, and news that I do not put on the YouTube channel. This is exclusive information that I only put on the Discord. I put out weekly trades as well. We're hitting on there, and people are absolutely making bank. We have testimonies on there as well. And the Flex Your Game section, you guys can see all of the incredible wins. I show you guys sometimes on the live streams, ton of winners. So if you want to get on the winning team and join the winning circle, go ahead and hit me up on my email, DataZeroOfficial5. It's linked in the description of this video and the comment section as well. DataZeroOfficial5, you can hit me up on my email or Instagram and just say, hey, I want to join the Discord. Once you do that, I'm going to send you information about it, plus payment information. Payment is made by PayPal or Cash App. Once you make the payment, I'm going to go ahead and send you the link to get you in, and it's as easy as that. And I truly appreciate you if you watch to the end of this video to see this message. So few people make it to the end. So if you did, you're trying to put in your 10,000 hours and master your craft, and hopefully you will see success because of it. As always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.